Hello, guys. Welcome to the channel. We live in a world where we are always being preached to. We are always being told to have values. Yes, and these values can come in the form of kindness, be gentle, be humble, and all that. But the hypocrisy about society is it doesn't necessarily teach us the limits. When does kindness become overboard? When does being too humble becomes docility? Where does being so gentle and all that becomes like a nice guy energy? So I'm here to tell you to get rid of the nice guy energy right now. Even in the Bible, when Jesus was confronted by the fig tree and it wasn't even in the season, but Jesus had a biting force. Like there was a kind of him that there was a part of him that you knew you can't cross. At the same time, when he went to the church and they were just selling stuff in the church. You see, he had to flip the tables. He wasn't like, oh, sorry, you don't have to do this and all that. The funny thing is, a lot of people are learning values, but what they are doing is they are overdoing stuff. So much so that people can take advantage of them because they know that they don't even have a teeth to bite. This is what I'm presenting to you today. It's important for you to learn values. It's important for you to have a standard of doing things. But at the same time, it's important for people to know that they can't play with you or they can't mess with you. Because we live in a day and age where a lot of people easily take advantage of the kind. A lot of people take advantage of people who have good hearts. And at the end of the day, it's important for these people with good hearts to also have another side to them. That is a side that makes the world know that you can't play with me. In spite of my kindness, I have another side that you can't mess with. So, in as much as I'm going to show you kindness, there's things that you can't do to me and go scot free. I'm not necessarily preaching to you to be violent. What I'm preaching to you is to have a little bit of edge to you as an individual. Because a lot of people have, when I read stories about people who are taken advantage of, especially by unkind people, thieves, and all these people who come in the name of I want help and all that, you realize that these helpers are people who were kind and they had no ill intentions. But the side of them that made them to be taken advantage of is the part of them that doesn't have any teeth. It doesn't have any biting force. So if you are doing something to them and it's something they don't like, they just absorb it in. They don't really confront. And we live in a society that doesn't really acknowledge or like people confronting issues. People would rather like to sort out issues than even sending it to court. People would rather like to keep things under wraps. They wouldn't like to fight for what they deserve. That is the society that we live in. And it has become a matter of fact that a lot of people are being taken advantage of, taken for granted in relationships, in workplaces, in friendships, and all that. Some people are being bullied left, right, center because they know that their bullies know that if they go to this person, the person is not going to defend, the person is not going to do anything in response. And that is a very dangerous place to be as an individual. That is a really dangerous place to be as an individual because the world is mean. Just because you are going to a lion's den and you think you are not a threat to the lion, doesn't mean the lion is not going to devour you. That is a misconception a lot of kind people or good-hearted people think. They think that so long as I am treating this person well, so long as I am being very good to this person, the person is going to give me that same energy back. But you see, bad people necessarily don't think that way. What they think is the advantage they can have over you. There was a time this thing happened in my family, and it was very, very tragic, very, very sad. You see, there was this pastor who appeared to be someone who knows how to talk, and he had been a family friend for a very long time, and we respected him, all right, but we hadn't seen the side of him. This pastor would usually go to places, taking money from them and running away. That is what he was doing. But our family knew nothing about it. Now here's the situation. He came around and told my dad that, oh, there was an opportunity. Your words can travel abroad and all that. And here's the case. My dad trusted him because obviously he's a pastor. For those of you who don't know our dynamics with pastors in Africa, the thing is, a lot of people respect pastors. So when they say something, it's like, that is it. We don't have to question it. All right. So my dad has started buying into the idea and started paying money to this pastor. He would just call and be like, oh, we are in this process. They need this amount of money, so and so. And my dad would just give the money to the person, and everything was all right. Until after a long period of time, we realize that this person has started not answering calls and always giving excuses. And it had been about 2 years of excuses. You see, and the sad thing about the matter is, in spite of me requesting that we should go and look into the process, we should go and question this pastor so and so, it was like, no, we trust him, so you don't worry. And afterwards, we all realized the whole thing was a scam. You get it? So in a situation like this, you have to be like, I am a Christian, I have these values, so I don't confront, I don't make sure that I am treated right. You see, that is what is happening. A lot of you are in relationships that you are generating so much nice guy energy. All that you are doing is, if you are mistreated, you're like, no worry, because of love and all that. A lot of you are in workplaces where you are being taken advantage of left, right, center. People are abusing you left, right, center. But you know what? If they had realized that you had a biting force, you had a confrontation force that you are going to rebut, you are not going to make them take advantage of you. They wouldn't have done that. That is the difference between being a good person and being a nice person. Being a nice person means you allow people to erode your boundaries. You allow people to take advantage of you without any form of accountability. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a sad place to be. This is a very, very sad place to be. So it becomes like you are absorbing in different kind of negative energy from people. People are taking advantage of you, but you don't talk. You don't actually air out your views. You don't actually explode. Not in a negative sense, but at least resist oppression, resist the force of people trying to take advantage of you and all that. Do you get it? That is very, very crucial. Once again, not in a violent manner. But what you are doing with people taking advantage of you and you not talking and you not resisting, you are just overdoing stuff. Because even in the Bible, the people we look up to and all that, they are not necessarily nice people. When you do something wrong to them, they are going to let you know that, my brother, you can't do this to me. And that is something that you shouldn't even think of doing to me. When Satan came around and was tempting Jesus, you realize that Jesus casted him out. Jesus was like, get behind me. He wasn't negotiating. So you shouldn't negotiate with people in terms of your boundaries, in terms of your treatment. How they treat themselves is the same way they should treat you. If they are treating themselves kindly, they don't get to treat you worse and think that, oh, that is all right. This person is not going to talk. He's a gentle person. For those of you who are in the comment section and you've been treated worstly, like you've been treated in a poor manner, let me know how you feel. Let me know what happens. Why didn't you confront it? And what culture do you come from? What makes you think that it's okay for people to get over your boundaries? It's okay for people to talk to you anyhow. It's okay for people to actually do a lot of stuff, different stuff to you, and not have any sense of accountability. You realize that it might be from a cultural background, it might be from a type of background where confrontation is not so much applauded. Yes, a lot of people, especially in Africa, we are in cultures where it's not okay for you to confront, especially when it's something that has to do with like fighting for your rights, doing things that will benefit you or something. It's like, talk it down. Oh, don't worry, take it easy. Don't worry, don't talk about it anymore. Yes, we don't like confrontation. So, especially when you come from a culture like that, it's very, very difficult for you to thrive. Yes, because the culture dictates that you should always be someone who is docile. Yes, the culture doesn't necessarily talk about the other side of life where you shouldn't be taken advantage of. So if someone comes around who is a bad person, they can take advantage of your kindness, your gentility, your humility, and all that. All these good attributes that you have become something that is fighting against you in the end. So it's always important for you to keep a right balance, a very good balance. That is, you are going to be kind, but people can't take advantage of your kindness. You are going to be humble, but not to the extent of being docile, not to the extent of doing anything at all that someone from the upper side or someone higher up is telling you to do. Because it's not all the time that someone higher up is going to do a good decision. It's going to take a good decision. So if they take a decision for you and it's not good, you have to confront, you have to object. That is the biting force that I'm talking about. Yes, that is the side of an individual every individual has to have. The side that resists oppression, the side that does not allow people to override and run over their boundaries. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Boachi. My name is Boachi, and thanks for watching. This is the Mode series, a series where we educate people on lifestyle, like psychology, things that make you happy in life, and what really matters. Don't forget to comment in the comment section what you think and the next video you think that I should cover. Thanks for watching. Till we meet again, stay safe.